Hey there, Jen McKinnon here, and it's time for another trend roundup from Envato. Today, we're talking about Photoshop trends, and a link to a collection of the featured items can be found in the description below. This video is brought to you by Envato Elements, a subscription-based library full of all the digital creative assets you need to get your creative projects done. From do-it-yourself style collages and cutouts to perception-bending techniques like glitch effects and distortion, all the Photoshop effects, templates and presets you need to create your next masterpiece are at your fingertips. Check the link in the description for a special offer from the Envato Elements team to get you started. Let's get into it. Whether you want to combine colours or make something marvellously monotone, our first Photoshop trend is all about replicating a retro wristograph feel. This method of printmaking uses a halftone screen to layer individual inks and is similar to offset printing in that the finished product is perfectly imperfect. Think grainy textures, misregistrations, and random marks that weren't part of the original design. Take a look at this wristograph print by artist Joe Prythurch that revolves around an old school record collection and complementary shades of orange and blue. From the smoking incense stick and toy action figures that sit on the shelves to the discarded takeaway coffee cups, every detail is given depth and texture through speckled gradients. Create some noise with these wristograph grain effects, which promise to bring an analog aesthetic to your digital designs. With the choice of low, medium, and high intensity, this Photoshop preset features 5 grain textures and 50 pre-made gradients, and is great for bringing a vintage screen-printed or photocopied style to banners and posters. Continue your trip down memory lane with more nostalgic design styles in our Retro Design Trends piece, which offers up tips and tools to recreate 60s psychedelia, 70s disco culture, and 80s neon, just to name a few. We've included a link in the description below. This next trend might look like a series of missteps, malfunctions, and mistakes, but trust us, glitch effects are intentional accidents. This art style introduces errors into still or moving images by manipulating designs and purposefully corrupting digital media. Distorted, pixelated, and crackling with static, glitch effects can be used to create a sense of chaos or to give the viewer the feeling that something is slightly off kilter. Like these glitch divas by artist Oz Van Rosen, who combines painting and photography to make images that are instantly recognizable yet abstract. Columns of binary code and neon circuitry disrupt these portraits, giving rise to artworks that feel unpredictable and rebellious. Embrace your inner rebel with these smart object-based Photoshop templates from Envato Elements. Glitch effects include cyberpunk, neon glow, and black and white, and are available for both portrait and landscape photographs. We've talked about creating imperfections and glitches, but for the ultimate in mashed up imagery, it's time to familiarize yourself with double exposure. A feature of photography and cinematography, this technique uses 2 exposures to create a single image. This overlaid visual effect encourages experimentation and can be used to create ghost images and mirror images while telling a complete story by combining separate elements. Take these double exposure images by Spanish photographer Antonio Mora, for example, that combine simple, striking portraits with dramatic landscapes. Eyebrows blend into bridges, foreheads merge with dramatic mountain ranges, and a tousled hairstyle is transformed into cresting waves. In combining people and nature, Antonio immediately communicates something about his subject's inner thoughts and feelings. A similar look can be achieved using this Photoshop action from Envato artist Eugene Design. Simply select your background and overlay your image, then add a tone or gradient to achieve the effect you're looking for. But this trend has an extra layer: color. It's called double color exposure. By harnessing complementary and clashing colours, you have the opportunity to create something really bright, bold and eye-catching using the double exposure technique. Like this action that can transform photos, graphics and typography with one of 7 preset colour styles. From vivid colours to monochrome and minimalism, we explore the latest photographic inspiration that's turning heads in our Photography Trends video. If you want to get snap happy with a range of styles, check out our roundup via the link in the description. Similar to double colour exposure, duotone is a technique that was once used in printing presses and is today shaking up the modern graphic design landscape. Drawing on 2 different colours, duotone can be used to draw a dramatic distinction between design elements, a style that can clearly be seen in this marketing collateral for audio experts, Loudhead. From advertising posters and web pages to canvas bags, the brand's visual identity is unmissable. Bold backgrounds are overlaid with muted images that incorporate a halftone or screen-printed look, while blocks of stacked white text convey key messages in an effortlessly simple, stripped-back style. This Photoshop action that's available via Envato Elements is sure to have a vivid and vibrant impact on your next personal or professional design project. It features an impressive 66 duotone effects, and if you're struggling to make a selection, you can see what all of them will look like when applied to your image using the mood board function. Once you've reached a decision, simply customize the color, saturation, and contrast. Text masking, which is sometimes referred to as knockout text, is a technique in which images, patterns, and gradients are displayed inside the shape of your text, like these globe-trotting letters. From Japan to Johannesburg, the initials of countries and cities are beautifully decorated with iconic images from each destination. Pisa's Leaning Tower gives the Eye of Italy an off-centre asymmetry, a windmill instantly communicates that Kinderdijk is in Holland, while Dubai's instantly recognisable sail-shaped skyscraper fits neatly into a rounded capital D. Use text masking on your own images with this Photoshop template. To use Portrait Text Mockup by Envato artist Kahuna Design, simply paste in a photo and play with the layers to get the visual effect you desire. Next, we look at another trend that allows artists and designers to take a similarly playful approach to type. Inspired by Henri Matisse's collage creations, in which he snipped organic and abstract shapes before arranging them on canvas, cutouts are a way to add a handcrafted feel to your digital designs. Just look at how these illustrations and animations successfully replicate a scissor and paper approach. Created for South African investment bank Signia, the brand's objectives and offerings are communicated through a combination of single words and creative cutouts. From the robotic arms and delivery drones of Innovative to the piggy bank A of Save, the themes of financial security and striving for economic growth are made immediately clear. Give your next piece of work an arts and crafts look with this paper-cut text effect. Curved layers swirl and stretch under each cutout letter to give the sense of contours, adding depth and dynamics to the message you want to share. Choose from one of 3 paper-cut colour themes and start experimenting with shadows and textures with this quirky text effect. This next trend has a similar DIY aesthetic to cutouts and is firmly rooted in a passion for mixed media and the cut and paste style of childhood scrapbooks. Layering up a range of mediums and textures has long been a popular illustration style, and it's one that has found its way into the world of graphic design. Just look at how Brazilian artist Johnny Marques merges black and white editorial images, photographs of flowers, and hand-scrawled sentences on a dark background in his macabre and slightly sinister artworks. Now you can get creative with collages by incorporating a torn edge effect. recreating the appearance of a hastily pulled page from a magazine or a photograph that's been ripped apart, this realistic texture can be used to effectively overlap two or more images. So far, we've looked at how to merge images in a very obvious way with collage effects. However, Photoshop compositing is a much more refined version of the old school collage. This increasingly popular trend sees multiple pictures being manipulated to create a single seamless composition. In other words, one image that the viewer wouldn't immediately realize is made up of many images. To learn more about compositing and using Photoshop to combine several images, check out the top tips from some of YouTube's most popular graphic design talent in our Compositing with the Experts episode of our Turbo Tips series. Channeling a similar accidentally on purpose aesthetic as glitch art, the distortion trend turns intentional errors into a thing of beauty. We're talking stretched, repeated and mirrored images, uneven typefaces, and layouts that play with our perception of space and scale. For example, LA-based illustrator Elena Kulikova brings her distinctive distortion techniques to artworks for global brands, fashion labels, and musicians. Combining trends including duotone and double exposure, and utilizing a popping palette of neons and bright pastels, her work is unapologetically eye-catching. As Elena demonstrates, adding a prism lens effect is a great way of achieving a distorted look, and this Photoshop effect does exactly that. With its two glass pyramids and various color presets, it promises to add a futuristic sci-fi feel to magazine layouts, social posts, and album covers. That does it for the Photoshop trends you'll be seeing this year. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like it below so we know to keep producing more content like this, and subscribe to the Envato YouTube channel to stay up to date with our latest content. Have your say and tell us what trends you'd like us to profile next in the comments below, and hit the Envato blog for more trends and tips. That's all for now, but if you're keen to stick around, click the thumbnail at the top right of your screen for more trends, or hit the one at the bottom right of your screen to watch the next Envato video selected just for you. See you next time!